You know, what up, guys? What up, guys? I want to talk about something because I just told everybody this show. I just mentioned my cousin. He's from New Orleans. He down here. At the same time, I was putting out music, and my song was in the flea market back at home, and my cousin that was doing music and playing them. And I just showed everybody on my broadcast when you go to the Texas Music Office and you do royalty, that don't mean you work for them. When you go press play on DLT and go by your government name, royalty, you got to pay your taxes. You got to pay all of these things. And I told my cousin, don't be listening to people. I want to see you make it. And, I just told people on here on my broadcast that went to Creekview and that sit by my house when I actually sit up there and worked it. And I sit up there and worked. And they came like Terrell, and I just told them, and I told all of them, and back in the with Kiwi and them, and all the rest of them, and I just told them, these are people that came and chilled, and all the rest of while I was working at Walmart, and me having that communication with them, and my friends at Preview, and either they with somebody or they not. I can just tell them, just see two of my friends have a kid and have those things. That's the biggest thing, and that I'm so happy for because I've been watching them since high school, since Preview. And I think when I got into an argument with the mirror got mad because I didn't want to hook them up. And I was very protective over my friends in Preview, even though when I was a little older. But I was very protective over them in a way that I wasn't gonna let nobody fuck over them or manipulate them like they do Shelly and Rose and Gwen. And I was like, man, fuck all that. I ain't about to do all of that. You play with these stupid ass hoes and do all of that, but just be real, man. Just be real. When Aguina wanted to stop being friends with me because I tried to tell them they mom and they want them together, and she want to go against the grain and all of that, chilling with the mirror and mirrors a cabinet. So that caused confusion, and she still wanted to be. And then they broke up the next week, and she said, "Hubert, I remember she said, if you're right, you're right. Why you still haven't apologized?" And I blocked every last one of them because they wasn't keeping it real when I was keeping it real, when I was hanging out with Demir and Marissa and Rose and Shelly and them. They walk around here stupid. And me understanding, let me tell you something. You got to understand something. When I was dating Shelly, me and people at Walmart, we was getting into arguments about what I did when I was at 12. And we're going to discuss that with Dylan Miller, me and the arguments that I had at 12, 16 about what I bring in. And I think that's where that caused more confusion at, where we got into an argument. And I think one of the black girls from Dallas that worked at 12, 16 in Carrollton, she said, you make me sick. I think because what attracts, and and you see all these women I have dated, and and you're not interested. You're not showing me attraction as a black woman. And I think for Rose was jealous because of me working and I had that thing, and me and Shelly was in that understanding. She was jealous of her friend. So that become manipulation. With women, that become manipulation. So those things become manipulation in those ways that will break a relationship. And I remember telling Demir, I told him no, like, no. You play with Aguina, and Aguina tried to play me, and right now I blocked her. And I blocked her, and I was like, man, y'all fake. And she used to, by the same time this stuff was going on in the Carrollton community, and Yellow Breeze and all the rest of them was going on acting the ass in Dallas community, in the Cliff and in the Carrollton community, and the police was there at the same time that was going on. And I was telling people to tell MO3 this and that, and telling MO3, can you tell him? I got a friend that was with Danny that was actually in the mall with MO3 that took a video with him. That know Danny, Bro, Miles, and people in my circle. and I'm going up to them. Can you tell MO3 this for me? Can you do all of this? But yeah, Breezy wanted to and know the situation. The kids that was at that 7-Eleven in Carrollton, Texas, and I stayed in there. Some of them understood me. I said, Hugo, because they chilled in the apartment. They said, Hugo, can you come at that? I took pictures with people, some of the little Dominic friends at Whataburger. Let me tell you the respect I had from people and the respect I had from little Dominic friends and the people I took pictures at Whataburger with when I stayed in Carrollton. But I'm not going to let them ruin my respect now because I'm knowledge and the belief system is not there. And I think that's where the streets will manipulate, where these kids that were chilling with Dominic and they go to Newman Smith and they chilling out of Ladera apartment in Carrollton. And I want them to know you do everything when you pay your taxes, when you see how Fat Joe went to jail and Ja Rule went to jail for paying taxes. Everything, if you go listen to the P. Diddy album called Press Play, people trying to sue things and he talk about his government and you paying taxes, you paying all of these things. When I got my food stamp or my food stamp application, I was able to see royalties, but that's going to be tied into my government. That's and the streets didn't like that in Dallas County. They didn't like those things of, what a person said in Dallas County. They say when you know too much, it would drive you crazy. When you know too much and all the rest of it. And all of it is about manipulation. It's about manipulation. It's about people not knowledge. And I told my cousin because they was making it out in Plano, and they didn't get the support and the boundary they need from the society of that community and that radio station. They didn't get that of my cousin Jill, and everybody didn't get that support that they need. And this was around the same time me and Marissa was doing music. And my cousin was saying we were gonna get in the studio one day and we was gonna be like, hold up. Yes. Hey, they was in Texas. I was in Plano, Texas with my cousin. And I'm like, hold up. I was in Plano, Texas with my cousin. And I think I went to middle school in Plano. So I was still in middle school in Plano, and I think I know what I had to take when my middle school teacher in Plano, when me having those challenge problems. I know what it had to take for me to get to where I needed to get. My cousin them left early because they was already going. It was band, and I stayed one more year afterwards, and those things, and me and just talking to my cousins and when I was staying with my auntie Monique, and when we first came out of there, they go to parties with my cousin man and do all of these things. And his baby mom is his girlfriend when I was a little younger. But my cousin auntie Monique said, "Look at you, you starting these big words now." Me, I didn't know I had the patience and the stuff that I need to do to get where I'm trying to go, and I understand the challenges that was ahead, and I'm willing to face those challenges. I'm willing to do those things because of God and what we do, and me being the church in New Orleans, and always been part of God. I told you when I was in Dallas County, when I was in New Orleans, I used to go to Berman Elementary, and they had the playground, they had the gym on the same foot as the playground, and you got the footyard, the lawn yard. And I stepped on the 51 states, and I used to go to church on the way. God said, "You have never forgot about me, and I have never forgot about you. And you have always been." I told this other person, I used to go to church in Irving, in Irving, and I used to chill with Tanner. We used to sit up in the music class in Irving. Sometimes I go interact with people up in Irving, gospel up in Irving, and when I was much as a teenager. And when I'm in church in the city right now, kids go off, teenagers go off in their own little area. They go off in their own little area. And when I was going with Tan and them, We was going in Irving Church and it got a skate park. They got all the rest of those in Irving, and we was going to the skate park. Remember, we went by girls' house, Tanner with Diggy's girls, and we going over there. I was too much more focused on being single at that moment, and me just he wanted to chase girls more, and I was like me. I was just wanted, and I'm just hanging out with them. So my ambition was much more than that. When I was hanging out with Tanner and his mom and his grandmother, and we going to the church in Irving, they moved in another community a long time ago. But we used to go to a big church in Irving, got a skate park. We used to be in a musical thing. We did all of that. I have always participated. And it's the time, at that time, when we was teenagers and I was going to Mary Grimes. When you pass at Mary Grimes School in Farmers Branch, you go to Capel. And he had this girlfriend. This girlfriend used to go to school. We go to, and this girl never did like me. But Tanner, like, I ain't give a fuck at that moment, you know. We hanging out, you know. I sit by him, I chill, and I have my own business. I had my own thing. I handle my own stuff. When I had an argument with the mirror at the house, it was about who know who first. All right, let me tell you something. I'm not got to argue over women with you because Tanner was dating a queen. You know, I'm not got to be on that. When I was with a let me tell you when I started hanging out with a and Jasmine them, and their mama used to stay behind Carrollton, and Aguina mama stayed behind Turner, and Jasmine them. They used to take it. We used to help them move. We actually helped Jasmine them move, and the people I worked with at 1216. We actually, and that's when they saw me in the Willowbend Mall. All this time when I was talking about the blueprint in the Willowbend Mall, I saw Jasmine's sister, Gwen, cousin that worked at 1216 with me. And he was like, come and work for over here because he was in the mall working. And he left Walmart because at that time, was going on, they all got fired. At that time when Samantha was working for putting merchandise over the thing and taking it to their car. So it was very upsetting. You know, I remember Jasmine, Jasmine brother, when I got MO3 on me, and I remember him saying, because I got MOB on the Walmart at the mall. You don't know what you're talking about. Because I got music history, family over everything, you know what I'm saying? Love and family over everything. So when I got MOB on me, huh? Your belly feel good? That's what when I got MOB on me. I remember the time I worked with Jasmine's sister, and Jasmine brother, and we had 1216, and I got MOB. You know, I remember when I got hurt, and I said this. When Sabine hurt me, when I found out stuff with the mirror, and I remember that, and I was like, what they was doing, and I was like, this is gonna remind me to keep getting my money. This is gonna remind me when I got this MOB tattoo with all the shit that Sabina put me through and Demirna put me through. This gonna remind me to get my money and keep going. And but I don't have hatred. I'm not hurt. But this is the able to me to keep moving. I think people once they hurt you, they don't understand how you're able to keep moving in power. And I think I remember the time I just talked to Tavani, and me and Tavani when I first met him, and I was able to tell him I was still hanging out with Demira at that time before we got into art education. And I remember talking to this girl Felicia at that time. She dealing with this girl Alex, and she got this girl Alex on her Facebook. I know two Alex. The one I grew up in Carrollton, Texas by Turner, but this one hung with the mirror. And you don't get this twisted. This one hung with the mirror. And this one I know two Alex. And the one I grew up in around Carrollton Park and around Turner, he way more realer than this fake ass nigga. That hang out with the mirror now. And he's way more. You can't compare Alex, the other Alex that me and Kevion and them chilled out with, the Spanish Alex that we chilled out by Turner, and we did that. You can expect those things to happen. We chilled in Carrollton, Texas, when they used to go to Perry. No, I'm not gonna compare that fake ass nigga to other Alex I know because that's real right there. You know, that's real right there. The people I worked up with in Carrollton and Alex and them, his mama worked at Jack in the Box. He had a job and Albert and them and all the rest of that. And all the rest of that. I'm not gonna let that nigga that Demir used to hang on affect my other relationships when I have other people in Carrollton. And I think I remember one time Albert didn't like it. Albert and Carrollton. Mirza dated Albert's sister, and I think that at the time Albert didn't like Mirza at that time, you know. And I remember Mirza and Albert fighting in the alleyway with each other. I remember Mirza and Albert's fight. You know, you meet me. Let me tell you something. I remember, you know, and you know what I'm saying, and all of those things. So it just with those things and me having a job at 14 years old, 15